doors, don't we? It's everywhere. When you get to thinking about it, all the way back to the book of Genesis, Adam and Eve. They had an open door access to God. They chose their own way instead of God's way. In essence, they slammed the door on that open relationship with God. And you'll never guess what God used to deliver his people out of slavery. He used the door. And again, the blood of an innocent sacrifice had to be shed. But then they took the blood of that animal and they painted it over their door. The door and the blood, the door and the blood, the door and the blood. And God is telling them that, hey, something awesome is getting ready to happen. God was teaching his children, as he's teaching us, about his nature, about his desire, about how he uses the door and what the door is for. And there was one man, though, who could enter into God's presence through that curtain. And guess what the purpose of his entrance was for? It was to offer blood, a sacrifice, to atone, to cover the sins of the people. Lots of doors in the Old Testament would describe that desire for God to reconnect, to have that open door relationship with man that he established. Remember, he's the one that created that open door relationship in the Garden of Eden. God worked for thousands of years preparing the way to open the door again. Jesus said, I am the door. He didn't say I'm a door. He said, I'm the door. Jesus said, our enemy is out there trying to steal, kill, and destroy. I'm here in the gap offering life. Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. He's the one who's standing in the gap. He's the gate. He's the door. He said, the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He said it twice. He's talking about the resurrection. Something big was about to happen. This good shepherd, this door, was about to do the most important thing in all of history. That this door into eternity was about to swing wide open. Fast forward a few days later, Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane. It's the night before his death on the cross. He kneels down to pray. He's praying to God, and the sweat that comes out of his skin actually turns to blood. He was in the process of becoming the door. Remember, the blood of an innocent third party has to be shed. It's all about the blood and the door. John 14:6, Jesus said it this way, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. And no one can come to the Father except through me. We've been trying to open the door on our own for thousands of years, haven't we? We've been standing at the door trying to jerk it open, trying to find eternal life, trying to find a way around the cross. Because you know what? The cross is offensive. It requires change. Love like that demands a response. And I watched last night, even began to count, and I didn't see one single person that was rejected. It didn't matter what they had on. It didn't matter how old they were, how young they were, how hip or how uncool they were. Man, they stepped on the door. If they had the faith to step on that pad, it opened. Can you imagine running up to the door through the rain and... A few hours after Gethsemane, Jesus died on the cross. The enemy felt like, man, he's gone. Took him off the cross, put him in a tomb, rolled the stone over the door. That door's closed forever. He's dead. Easter Sunday, Jesus burst through that door of death and sin. Busted it wide open. Swung the door wide open. Total access to God. Extends his nail-scarred hands and says, anyone who comes in through me will be saved. What the rest of your life? What's your mark going to be? What are you going to leave here over the next 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years? How much longer do you have? How are people going to remember me? Probably by the doors that I've closed and opened. We can all choose to walk through the door. That is Jesus' swung wide open by his sacrifice. It's all about the door and the blood. He died so that he could become the door your way.